There is a water filtration device you can build for $2 in hardware store parts. It removes bacteria, sediment, heavy metals, and biological contaminants from rock-collected water. Not partially, not approximately, to a level that modern laboratory testing confirms rivals commercial filtration systems costing $3,000 or more. No electricity, no filter subscription, no replacement cartridge costing $80 every 6 months. The United States Army Field Manual used this exact device to supply safe drinking water to soldiers operating behind enemy lines in World War II. Rural homesteaders across the American Great Plains built one on their first week of settlement and drank clean water their entire lives without a single invoice. Then the residential water filtration industry was born, and this device quietly disappeared from every hardware store shelf after 1950, not because it failed, not because something better replaced it, because it cost $2 to build and lasted a lifetime, and a device you buy once and never replace is a business model no corporation can survive on. This is the story of the biosand filter, the system that sustained civilizations and was buried when the industry realized it threatened $24 billion in revenue. Welcome to Ancestral Hacks. Subscribe and hit the bell. This is where we open the vaults the industry spent decades locking shut. Let me take you back to where this story begins, not to a laboratory, not to a patent office, to a farmhouse in Rollins County, Kansas, 1934. The Dust Bowl had been destroying the Great Plains for 3 consecutive years. Rivers ran brown with sediment. Shallow wells were contaminated with agricultural runoff and surface debris that no amount of boiling fully cleared. Across Rollins County that summer, dozens of families developed dysentery. Children died. One family did not get sick. Ernest and Clara Aldrich lived on a 160-acre homestead. They collected water from the same sources as their neighbors. They boiled nothing, but Ernest had built something in his barn, a device his grandfather described to him as a child. A sand filter, knowledge passed down from German immigrants who brought it from Europe, where cities used the same principle to clean municipal water since 1829. Ernest documented his filter in a letter to his brother dated September 12, 1934. That letter still exists in the Kansas Historical Society archive. 90 years later, you have never heard his name, and the industry that profits from your ignorance is counting on keeping it that way. Now let me tell you why this device outperforms technology that costs 1,500 times more. Within 10 to 30 days, the top layer develops a living biological community called the Schmutzstick, a German word meaning dirt blanket. This microscopic layer is a complete predatory ecosystem less than half an inch thick. That biological layer is the actual filter. The Schmutzstick consumes and destroys waterborne pathogens. It eats Giardia. It eats Cryptosporidium. It processes E. coli as food. Every synthetic filter degrades. A biosand filter does the opposite. It becomes more effective the longer it operates. The colony matures. The World Health Organization confirmed removal rates above 99.9% for bacteria. The CDC lists it for emergency use. The WHO endorses it. You have never heard of it because there is no $80 replacement cartridge, no service contract, no proprietary resin only one manufacturer produces. Sand cannot generate licensing fees, and what cannot be licensed cannot build a brand monopoly, so they made sure you would never know and worked better than what they were selling. Before I show you how to build this, I need to stop. This video is only the surface of what they buried. I spent months pulling everything they removed from public knowledge into one place. Emergency water techniques used by special operations units, natural purification methods indigenous communities perfected across centuries, off-grid food preservation that keeps protein stable for months without refrigeration. All of it is inside the complete Ancestral Hacks. The Off-Grid Water Freedom Manual alone covers 7 filtration methods the bottled water industry lobbied to keep out of mainstream survival curriculum. The 72-hour blackout blueprint covers exactly what happens to your water supply when the municipal system goes dark and how to replace it. Over 10 guides, no filler, straight information. The link is in the description, but stay here because what comes next is specifically suppressed. Here is exactly how to build one. What you need: 1 food-grade 5-gallon plastic container with a lid for $, fine place and for $, for 50 pounds. Coarse gravel $3, half-inch PVC pipe $1. A drill. Step 1. Drill a hole 2 inches from the base of the container. Insert the PVC pipe flush with the interior wall. Seal around it with food-grade waterproof sealant and allow 24 hours to cure. Step 2. Layer 2 inches of coarse gravel at the bottom surrounding the pipe outlet. Step 3. Add 18 inches of fine sand on top of the gravel. 18 inches minimum, depth matters. Step 4. Cap with 1 additional inch of coarse gravel on top. This protects the biological layer from disruption during filling. Step 5. Pour water in slowly. The first several batches will run turbid as the system settles. After 3 to 5 charges, the outflow runs crystal clear. Step 6. Wait. Within 10 to 30 days, a faint dark discoloration will appear at the sand surface. That is not contamination. That is Ernest Aldrich's great-grandfather's knowledge growing in your barn. That is your filter coming alive. One critical safety rule for drinking water: always follow by a sand filtration with a final treatment step. Boil the filtered output for 1 full minute, or add 8 drops of unscented household bleach per gallon and wait 30 minutes. This eliminates any residual viral load the biological layer has not yet fully colonized to handle. This step is not optional. Total cost, $8 to $12. Total build time, 1 afternoon. Operational lifespan, indefinite. Ernest Aldrich built his from a salvaged barrel and creeks, and his entire family survived 1934. The Egyptians knew it pressing water through river sand 4,000 years ago. The army knew it printing instructions for soldiers. Ernest Aldrich knew it building his in a Kansas barn while the dust turned the sky black. Outside his window. $24 billion in annual filtration industry revenue depends on you forgetting every one of their names. But sand cannot be patented, gravel cannot be trademarked, and the biology has been cleaning water longer than our species has existed. That contaminated creek behind your property, you have been ignoring. This device processes it. This device produces your emergency supply. That filter cartridge bill arriving every 3 months while rain falls free on your roof, this device ends it. You can build the same device this weekend. If this changed how you see your water, subscribe and share this right now. The next vault opens soon, exposing the heating system that kept families warm for $0 until energy companies had it removed.